What's going on, guys? Papa Tez here with another godforge video for you guys, and today I'm going to be talking about some leaks yet again that we get to put out as CCs. Yeah, we love leak time. I'm just saying, it's always a fun time when we get to share things with you all within the community so that we can, yeah, have y'all look at it, see what y'all think about it, make some comments about it, and see just the steady improvements that Godforge is trying to make. So today we're going to be showing not only kind of a feature that'll be upgraded that was talked about and just how it looks now. Ascension. Yeah, Ascension. Now I think it's going to be later on down the line, but the way that Ascension looks, it looks incredible. Looks very, very nice, and I very much like it. Then we're also going to be talking about buffs to two of the heroes that we know. We're going to be talking about Ra, and we're going to be talking about Loki. I think we're going to do Loki first, right? And then after that, we're going to look at some visual updates, particularly in the face in particular. Face is what's being updated right now. And I think some of the skin texture and stuff um, eventually might be updated and stuff like that, right? Like you'll really see it within the facial region. So super excited to show this to you all. So let's get right into it. So as you all can see right here on the screen, as you have me, I move my head out the way, my big old head. As you can see right there, this is the future of the Hero Ascension screen. So as you can see, you can click all the way down on the Ascension and do it all in one go. Don't you like that? And as you can see on the left side, you click which one you want. Then down at the bottom, you'll be able to click Ascend. Super duper nice, right? I think that that's incredible. If you ask me, I think that is absolutely incredible. It's a great look for things. All right, so now let's go on to the next thing. So we're gonna take a quick look at Raw. So I'm super excited to see that. That's awesome there. All right, so now let's take a look at these. Look at him, man. Doesn't he look good? Even though he looks like a pretty little butterfly with those things on his back, but still. Let's take a look at these skills here real quick. All right, so let's pause that. So as you can see, attack one enemy, 300% attack, 200 accuracy with a 75% chance to increase the duration of blaze by one turn. If the attack is critical, activate blaze on the target. That's kind of a nice one. So not only will he increase it, but then he'll activate it. I don't 100% remember what it was before. Was it always 75%? I don't remember. I don't remember. But looks like it's something that's gonna hit really, really hard for sure. It definitely looks like it's gonna hit really hard. Okay. Let me make sure I go over to the next one, which is the core. So attack all enemies by 360% attack, 230% accuracy, 75% chance to place blaze. If it defeats an enemy, then decreases the cooldown. It's already on a 3-turn cooldown. And then increases crit damage for each blaze place. So 15% extra crit damage. That's actually super duper nice. Now my assumption is that that's going to count for any type of blaze, right? My assumption that's going to count for any type of blaze. So that's super nice. All right, then this one, which is the core, which should hit pretty hard overall. Attack all enemies 3 times. Mm. Whoa, do y'all see this? This is okay. Now, this is really cool. So, 35% chance to place defense down and vulnerable on each target for 2 turns. If the enemy is defeated, increases the duration of blaze of all enemies by 1 turn. Okay, that's very interesting because he did not have that in the kit before, not that I remember. He did not have the defense down and the vulnerable. So that's actually pretty good. And then the 20 divinity that he gains when enemies are damaged by blaze. So that's like every tick of blaze. Every single tick he's gonna be getting divinity. So we can see like it looks like he's a higher echelon within the divinity because of how decent this probably is. And remember, when you have the three hitters, like this almost becomes like 75 to 100%, right? Because ideally, one out of three times it's going to land. So this is just super duper nice. I think that it's a good way to do things and kind of blow it all up. So I think that's really, really cool. I think that's super cool. All right. So then, as you can see, it's just showing us that everything is kind of like maxed out and stuff there. Um, that way we can see it. So you'll get those extra chances and stuff as you go along. So super duper nice to see that. Let's also take a look at these ascensions here real quick. Let's see. The Okay, so he was fully ascended too. Whoa, look at that. The defense ignore. Ooh, okay. All right, with the multipliers and more weapon stats, 50% chance to activate Blaze on any attack. Okay, now that's kind of nuts. That's kind of nuts, man. He's looking really good. Going. All right, so now let's take a look at him. Doesn't he look good? Doesn't he look good? Like that, the lighting and stuff just looks so nice. We definitely can see some improvement. All right, let's take a look at these skills. So 7% HP and 40% attack. Was it like that? Then the two hits, 75% chance to place one stack of bleed, and then heals this hero if the target's under bleed, which is super duper nice. I don't remember if that was like 7% or if it was like 5 or something like that. All right, so place two stacks of bleed on all enemies and remove one buff from each target. If a And this is the core, if a buff was removed, place three stacks of bleed instead. Grants an extra turn. Oh my. Oh my. That's kind of juicy. So not only does it get the buff removal, but also placing the stacks. Yeah, the extra turn is a little different for sure. All right, then attacks all enemies 4 times before attacking, consumes all stacks of bleed on each target, and increases the damage inflicted by 8% per stack of bleed consumed. All right. So that means that is there a limit on this though? So 8% per stack of bleed. Like I don't this one I don't know. Like is there some type of limit on this or no, or is there not? Okay, also each hit destroys the target's HP for 10% of the damage inflicted, up to 60% of the target's HP. That is insane. Okay. And then 60 divinity when damaging an enemy under bleed. That's a nice little thing. All right, let's read this passive. At the start of enemy turns, they are under bleed, increase the damage this hero's next attack by 10%. So just literally a 10% buff in this kit. And then start of an ally's turn, still 5% of their current HP increases this hero's divinity by 2. Ooh. But this is fine though, right? So even with that, with the steel, we see the buff and that. Wait, so we don't see, so they took the men's away, actually. They actually took the men's away. That's interesting. I don't see the men's, but maybe the heels are better than the men's. So it looks like a little bit of a tune to him. So we'll see if that's a lot better or not. But you can see like that hero ascension there too, which is really, really cool. Really, really cool. Damage multipliers, the hits. You'll see basically where all those extra things come in from. So he's still gonna be extremely good. He's still gonna be extremely good regardless. So, looks like that'll be for the better overall. at that kit, and man, his face looks incredible. His face looks incredible. There he is in all his glory, looking impeccable. Looking cool. All right, so this lets you know what charm when attack the hero will receive the attack instead. Let me go back just a little bit. So yeah, I feel like that this is kind of the way that it hits. So maybe there was a little bit of buff to the damage. I'm not sure, not sure. But yeah, 75% chance to place charm on a target. I feel like I remember that portion. Then he has to sleep on all enemies. If they're under sleep, increases his duration by 1 turn and steal 10% of the target's turn meter. If the target resists sleep, block, or is immune, increase this hero's turn meter by 20%. Ooh, that's super nice. That's super nice. So like bosses, basically, he'll just get that turn meter increase, which is super duper nice. But so let's say like you got a reset champion, then you just put somebody back under sleep again. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to see there. All right, then attack all enemies. 80% chance to place corrupt on each target for 2 turns. Then places vanish and reflect on this hero for 2 turns. Okay. When attacking under vanish, shields a random buff or extend a random debuff by 1 turn. Hmm. Okay, is this a or is it an and? And how do we know which one will take place if there is both a buff and a debuff? Or basically, it's random. That's what I'm looking at. 50 to Vanny when inflicting damage to an enemy under sleep. Okay, kind of nice. Kind of nice. Also, that corrupt just fully controlling everybody for 2 turns. Ooh, that is super nice. That is super nice. All right. Wait, did I miss that portion right there? Which was that corrupt with the sleep thing there? Yeah. Okay. So the little speed down there too. I wonder if it comes up in the abilities. I wonder if it comes up. Also places speed down 2 on a target. Yeah, so that passive gets upgraded. That is super duper nice. All right. So now let's get into looking at the face. So this is the face of boy, right? Look at it now. You see all the detail that's going into the areas around the eyes, the muscle structure and all that that's going on. Just looks so much better. And then this is a look at this gentleman here looking absolutely fantastic. But you can see like the difference, right? But between the two. Um just definitely like a good look at that where it just looks so much better. Looks so much better. Way better. Looking way better. All right, you see this? Look at that though. Can't you see like the detail right there? You can see it in between the eyes and stuff like that. Like this just looks so much better. Again, don't worry about the hair and stuff like that. Again, it's strictly for like the face, but I think like they did some work on the skin and stuff too. When I tell you homegirl looks absolutely beautiful, I'm telling you this is wifey right here, y'all. This is wifey, okay? Just want y'all to know that, all right? And then this is Isolde, and this is what she looked like before. But now look at the details that's going in. I don't know. The only thing for me is like I kind of like the softness of the look here. Um, like she looks like that she's a little bit older on this one versus this one. So I think like the softness here was super nice. So I don't know. Like we'll see. But she still does look really good though. She still does look really good. So I'm interested to see like how it looks kind of going forward. So either way, there was just a little bit of leakage for you guys so that y'all can see some stuff that's going on in the game. And hopefully y'all appreciate it. Let me know if you want me to deep dive a little bit more into the kits of Dracula and Raw and also Loki in a separate video because I will do that. Um, yeah, because I just didn't want to make this like super duper long because it's a lot when you just go over like one of the characters' things right there, right? So didn't want to make it too long. But either way, hopefully y'all enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.